my colleague, we have another project on the go as well, and we recorded that session last week, and my colleague then spent an hour on the phone to our IT people trying to figure out how to put it up on the website for the subject. But I'm told one of my colleagues tells me this morning that the way to do it is not to put it up on the website itself, but rather to put it on YouTube and put the link to YouTube on the website. So apparently, yeah, if we host it externally, that works better. So we'll see how we go.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised the other two haven't joined us. But seeing we're recording, let's start, and the others can come in as needs be. Would you like to start out, Edward, and tell us whatever you'd like to tell us, and then we'll questions at you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'd love to introduce my background first, rather than to start any kind of the question. I am the person who worked with this industry for more than 20 years and in service area, IT service area. And since 2017, I begin to establish my business, my own self, my own brand, my own logo, my everything. And so far, it's the 5th year, and we did a little bit different every single year. So in year 5 now, in year 3, we're facing the pandemic situation, unfortunately, and every single business have got shocked by the situation, and we are one of them. And so my business was mainly running as a service related, IT service related, plus the sales, computer shop, you can call that. But in my side, I prefer more service, because majority of my customer, they are all small business, and they got the impact by the pandemic too. So it leads me to thinking about I need to seek in for the assistance of marketing in whether I can get more exposure to the public, and or I can get some small business clients attention. And unlikely to the normal, I have to explain that unlikely to normal computer shop, we are different. We are a little bit different, because what they're doing before, they mainly doing the sales. I think maybe most of you have an idea with the major business name called Amway, Scope Tech, or Umart, something like this. And they are all major store in our industry. But for me, I was only doing the service or related. So we are totally opposite way to running our business model. So our major client will be who looking for the service rather than to looking for the sales. And what I was looking for help from Ned and also Western Sydney is I'm looking for to get the solution after the pandemic. Maybe this pandemic or next pandemic, who knows, but we're looking for some solution. It's simplicity of how can people to get in touch to our business, and how can we solve the problem for the customer in the short term. Because as my observation, a lot of the service people who is my competitor doing the service in very long time response time, but everybody still accept it. I think maybe because everybody very chill on the speed or time or the service range. But for us, because I'm from Asia, so time is very important to us to solve the problem. So for example, there's one major service provider called Gig2U. They are under the Officeworks group, so they can offer the same service as what I'm doing, including the on-site service, problem solving, and the remote service. But some of my customers who complain about their responding time is a bit slow, and they can't really do face-to-face diagnosis with the computer issue. So it makes me thinking about, oh, I may have a chance to find out what kind of the solution to against their business model. And of course, we are not as big as them. Only me and my my colleague, only 2 persons in the business. So I think from the questions, the group asking about what do I feel about the key strengths of our business. The key strengths of our business is the flexibility and the speed and the quality of the work. And in last 5 years, we've been doing this very well. Now, I won't say very well, but I'm really thankful to all my customers who give me the feedback are really positive. And that proves that we are doing the right thing. So now we're facing the biggest issue is when we are looking for the development of our business in next stage, especially after pandemic, we are small. So we need some ideas to improve the development and also the exposure and attraction. And yeah, pretty much like this is what I'm thinking at the moment. And some of the questions are very interesting, like the potential customer. How do I make a potential customer to find out my business? And as I think most of the group might do some research on my website already. I can see the floor have a peek, and I can see the people are doing the research on my website. And for the website, the point of the website is I trying to make people know us from the Google search or from the Google Map, which we have some attraction from Google Map. I didn't put any funds on that, but a lot of people, they calling me and they say, hey, look, I found you on the Google Map, and I found you on the some search engine, and what service that you're doing. They know what I'm doing for the business, but they have no idea what we are doing the service for. So this is the thing I want to I want to do some upgrade or improve as well. And about the relationship of my customer, or as I know, more than 90% of my customer, they are all from word of mouth, which is very traditional way to making the business relationship with the customer. It's taking longer, but it's more solid than the other ways, because we are not doing the price competition with the other competitors, and we only do the quality work and we give you the customer the best solution that we can offer in a short time. And
a question there, Edward.
Yes.
Just something you said intrigued me. When you say about your strengths, and one of them is flexibility, could
Yes.
you expand on that a little?
Oh yes, the flexibility is we normally let me explain the operation that we're doing now. In most of the time, people will have in their computer problem, or they do have an issue with their business, IT infrastructure or something like that. And from the emphasis to find out the solution, the time is very long. And when you need to book in a time with the business like a gig to you, they only offer you a very limited time frame for you to do the service. But for us, we can just say and go, or in a very short time, maybe 24 hours, 48 hours responding time to the customer. So we are very flexible to offer the customer when the service can be done, or when the service can be implement. And also we overlook we not just eyes on the single issue, we also eyes on the potential issue as well. So we will give you the customer the suggestion, maybe if you finish this this case, and what kind of the issue maybe occur in the future. Something like in a small business, they only have a few units of a computer in the office area. And when we overlook and we have a look for them, and they say, oh, look, your equipment are pretty old and it's out of fashion. So eventually you might looking for to upgrade the network or the IT equipments as well. So we will give them this proper suggestion at the time to give them the notice, says, oh, if you're looking for some solutions, we might offer you as well. So in most of the time, the small business, they require the project thing to fix their computers or to upgrade their computers. But we not really just focus on the thing they ask us to do. We also looking for the potential issue from their office area. Pretty much that. Yeah.
So in effect, you're giving them an IT plan or a rough outline of an IT plan for going forward.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
And about the thing that they're talking about is what is my principal target market? I would say my principal target market is the small business. The small business is less than 10 employees. And also I'm looking for the working customers as well, which is about less than 10%. Even though we have the shop in Capital Square, but so far after pandemic, most of the time is spending on the small business outside service.
Is there any particular type of small business, Edward, either characterized by a particular industry, or is it just small businesses generally?
In general, they are all small business. They do have a many different industry, came from like real estate agent, education agent. I do have 300 and more business name on my profile. They all came from different places. And in general, they are all small business, less than 10 people. Yeah, pretty much.
So in effect, they're businesses that don't have any internal IT professional capacity.
No, they need to rely on the person like me or offshore IT service provider, and they are limited with the IT knowledges, so they have no idea what they can do when they have an issue with the computers or devices or even network. So that's the major my major business range.
Guys, would questions?
Sorry, I'm probably not expressed too much.
No. That's been very, very useful, Edward. A really great overview. Paul, you're scratching your chin and looking like you're about to ask something.
So one of the questions I have is, how has the pandemic affected your business? Has it increased in a different way? Have you gotten different customers or?
A very interesting questions. Before pandemic would be very stable with the business people and also the working customer. And after pandemic, as you know, we all got shocked, no exception. And suddenly, because people are looking for work from home devices and services, so we have a peak rise very quickly at I believe February of 2020, at the time before the lockdown, and after 2 months later, it suddenly dropped off, and nobody comes in, and no business require, no working customer at all. Only a few people. They are there to come out and looking for someone who do the computer services. So I would say in that period was affected to the business badly. And I have no idea what we can do at the time, to be honest, because we can only sit in there and waiting for customer, even no transactions a day. So after 2021, before the Omicron, we have a raise a bit, recover a bit. And I found out that there's a lot of new customer coming in, and not just only the small business, but also the working customer coming as well. I don't know where they came from, and I don't know how they found me. And at the time, I did have 2 projects with Western Sydney IT department. We do website. Our website was established at the time as well, 2021. And also we do have our own application you can download from Android and iOS. And I think those 2 changes bring me some different customer at the time. And so far until now, we still have an ongoing application development as well, and plus the marketing consultation from you guys. So I like to answer the question of what I can gain from your project. What I'm looking for is for the development of our new business model after pandemic, because as I say, our flexibility is not enough. It's not gonna be the main strength for us to last for next 5 years for sure. We need to find out how can we make a new business model to attract more people, to make people feel more confident to choosing our services in few years time. And also, I would like to address that in next 5 years, what I'm looking for is I need to separate my business model in 2 types. The first type is the franchise model. We need to spread our business into different suburbs, and we need as minimum scale as we can. Why I say minimum? Because we don't need too much major store or large area to do our services, but we need someone knows there's a drop-off point, or there's a place that we can that they can find us to do the service. And second business model is the centralized service business model. As a business model similar as Uber, I would like to address the point-to-point service, which nobody does that before in our industry. So but this kind of the business model we're facing the issue is the last mile. Nobody can reach, we cannot reach to the customer without transportation, without the courier. So that is the thing we are looking for to resolve. Yep. Hope this one solve your question.
I think you've just raised the bar in terms of the project. That's okay.
I tried my best.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, Melissa.
I wasn't here for the first 2 minutes, so I'm not sure if you did answer this question. But from obviously market research, we can identify the competitors. But who do you feel is your main competitors at the moment?
Okay, as you know, the major store, they're doing the sales like Amway, Sculptech, they carry the sales as well. But the most top one, you can name it, is Gig2U from Officeworks. To be honest, I don't think I'm the competitor to them because I'm too small to them. So eventually, the thing that we are doing now leads us to becomes the major competitor to Gig2U. So I would say Gig2U and some local area computer service provider. In my building, I have 3 competitors already, but we are all have different market segment. They rely on the working customer more than me. Pretty much they are 80% or 90% of working customer related, and 10% of business, small business service. So I'm the totally opposite way as what I'm doing. So that's why we can survive so far for 5 years time, because we are all different market segments. We are not conflict each other. Yes.
I'd like, this is a comment for the students as much as anything, Edward, but I'd be interested to explore the customer base of Officeworks, in that my impression is that it's very much a domestic customer, and Geeks2U comes to the home in effect. Every time I go to Officeworks, it's filled with people who are buying for their school kids or doing things like that. I don't sense that their business centers around other small businesses as you've described. So yes, there might be some discrimination there that might be worth exploring. But I'll explore that separately with the students. We can work through that, and I'll ask some hard questions there. Other questions from Isaac and Chloe? Chloe, particularly.
Isaac, you first go for it.
All right, thanks. Edward, first,
Hi, Isaac.
do you mind if I call you Eddie?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Don't
Yeah.
worry. A lot of people call me Eddie though. Go ahead.
Eddie, you mentioned you've been in the industry for 20 years, so
Yes.
surely you're very passionate about, IT, digital, like technical services and stuff like that, right?
Definitely.
And it just wanted to ask you, an industry is so competitive, and as you can see, like just where you're located, there's so many other stores like that. What made you want to do it? What made you want to start your own business?
Okay. Very good question. This is what this means to survive, because I'm looking for as your marketing term, I'm doing the niche market rather than the others. Like whatever people in the building, they're selling the certain things, I will skip that. I choosing the other things to sell. I doing the selection way, my own way to select the product that I would like to represent to the customer. For example, you do have a razor, you do have the Steel series, you do have a major brand of the products in the building. Then people can just shopping around and finding out who is the cheapest. And that's not to me. I choosing the other brand. Maybe they are not that not that big name, or they are not that fantastic, attractive to the customer,
Right.
but they are also reliable as well. In the let me put the example for the monitor. You will address like, oh, Samsung is the best in the market, but there are many different brands like AOC, like a Gigabyte, like Asus, something like the other certain. We can name it, but they are not really concentrate on the business for the marketing, but they are all in good production as well. So what I was doing for the sales part is I trying to select the thing that nobody has in the building, and also very good on qualities. And once my customer choosing that, they will stick with the certain brand from me as well. And plus, to be honest with you, as I said earlier, I'm doing the service rather than to the sales. So the sales, you cannot earn enough margin to survive in this industry for last decade for sure. So what we can do now is we're trying to doing the service to bring the power of the sales. We're doing the reverse way as what people doing before. I think this is a kind of strength that we can survive so far as well.
So you choose to represent the brands that you say, like, in a way, like from what I got out of it, like one way I want to put it is like, you have your Samsung and stuff, which kind of be like M Wave, right?
Yes,
the
you can find
competitive-
Samsung everywhere pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, but you're shining a light on the smaller brands because, like, in a way they represent you. That's what you like prefer. They're giving it more of a spotlight, right?
Yes, pretty much. And also, in some time they might provide you more resources from the manufacturer as well.
Right.
Even though you are small, but they are still happy to offer you some resources like marketing material, or the demo unit, something like that. In small firms, they love to do this one,
Right.
to cooperate with the business like us.
Um,
And I show you an example in the laptops. And the laptop, I don't know how much that you guys know about the brand of the laptop, like a Dell, HP, Asus, Acer, something like that. You can name at least 10 names on the laptop. And every model, every manufacturer have their own models. They are all massive. They are all variety of model. But what I'm doing now in my business, I'm selling the refurbished laptops instead of the brand new one. I think refurbished laptop, maybe some people not familiar what does the refurbished laptop mean, but in general, you can treat that as a second-hand laptop, and you will be surprised on what the margin percentage in between the brand new laptop and the refurbished laptop will be. For example, if I sell the brand new laptop in $2,000, I might be earned 10% or less from that. But if I sell in the refurbished laptop, I sell around $1,000 and I can get 20 to 30% margin from that. And that's the big difference in between us, because we need to, I don't need to spend too much money, too much cost on the brand new inventory. And I can only carry half of the price of my inventory cost, but I can sell even better margin rate than the brand new one.
Do you sometimes find it harder to sell a refurbished one though? Is it because I know many customers, especially in this day and age, where they're the type to, you know, people have become more, you know, throw away and replace more than actually repairing. So a lot of people could be turned off of buying a second-hand laptop
Yes.
straight from the shop. So
Yes.
that become harder product to sell.
No, that would be another way wrong. It would be easier for us to convince the customer the refurbished one because it's cost effective. First one is a cost effective way, and second one, we also offer the same warranty 1 year as the other brand new one unit as well. And the third, they want the instant service solution. They want the instant solution. They want to migrate the data across if you could, which we are capable to. Nobody offer customer, we can migrate the fully system across to the new, not new, the refurbished unit for them. So they will have a peace in mind to use that as usual. So I think the difference between the brand new one for refurbished one is the refurbished one seems given more confidence for customer to choose from our shop. So I think that's the advantage for us to sell the things in the shop as well.
No, thank you, Eddie.
No worries, Isaac.
Chloe, you were going to ask something earlier.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, Eddie.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. I've just got one question. I've got a couple of questions, but I might start with this one.
Sure.
What have you done to build your lasting relationships with your customers, and what is your biggest issue in attracting these customers?
Okay, as I said before, in my side, 90% of the customers are word from mouth. And they kind of introduced by someone who knows me or who has been used my service before or who visited me before and they feel like, oh, I'm the trusted guy, and they can seek in for a guy who can finish the service in the show time. And the difficulty would be, how do I expose the business name and the service quality to customer? This is the major issue for me. Even though I do have a website and I do have my own application from the mobile, but it's very hard to broadcasting or spray the things to people who was looking for someone doing the IT services. Yeah, I think that's a major issue for me at the moment. And I as you're aware of that, we are small. We doesn't have the enough funding for the marketing. I don't have a chance to spend like $5,000 a year to the Google review or to the Google advertisement and put me on the first row of the search. No, we don't have that kind of thing. So I think subject to the resources, what we are looking for is maybe we can find some other way to fit with our style, flexibility, to make people know us more. Yep.
Yeah. Go for it, Isaac.
And I know you said you like to sell products that you believe in, which mainly end up being the smaller brands, right? And I really respect that. But do you ever see yourself within a few years, maybe not like eventually in the long term, selling bigger brands to eventually, like, even if it means like getting a better, like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like to help bring awareness to your brand, to eventually sell the bigger brands, you know, for that opportunity?
Yeah. Of course, bigger brand have the advantage, but in our side, when you're doing the warranty claim, you will know the difference in between the brand names. The bigger brand normally taking longer time to respond all the services requirements, and the smaller brand sometimes they just replace the thing for you in a short time. And I think the customer feeling will be much different. And of course, we definitely will carry the bigger name with no doubt. because most of the people looking for, oh, your shop has a big name, your shop have a big name brand, and we can find something from you definitely, like a JB Hi-Fi, and like Harvey Norman. So big brand name product is the thing definitely get involved our business, but we are not looking for that for 100%. We just give them like a small percentage. For 10 units of the same product, I will give the big brand name about 2 to 3 units. So 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. And I will try my best to give the customer more product what I believe is good, or in the service side, I believe they can provide the better service level to the customer.
Thank you.
Nice.
Sorry, just wanted to jump in again quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Can you go through just what services you offer? So I know you've mentioned that you offer the data migration, you sell the refurbished laptop or computer devices, but is there anything else that you do offer?
Data recovery, and also on-site service, and for the service range, you guys can from my website. I mentioned on the website already. Pretty much whatever you can name for the computer, and we all carry on hand. Yeah.
So in summary, Edward, if I'm running a small business with 5 people and we've got 2 computers in whatever office it is that I'm in, and one of them's giving us trouble, we come to you.
Yes. And also, I would suggest you, I would design the IT infrastructure for you as well, if needed, because some of the people who maybe entrepreneur, they have no idea what they need for the computer in their business. So if I can grab the people or the business people like this, then we can offer that in one go in a project manner. Then that would be great for our development as well, because I do believe that a lot of people have no idea about what they need for their business in small business range, I believe.
Actually, having worked with quite a number of small businesses in the course of running this subject, I entirely agree with you. And in fact, very often it seemed to me that they're getting advice from someone like their accountant. No, quite seriously.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Or someone who familiar with the IT stuff in the business.
Yeah, because the accountant is familiar with the business, and particularly if it's external to their business, but he or she is familiar with the business and how it operates because they're dealing with them all the time. And so they tend to be an all-purpose business advisor. And I can think of a number of projects where I've encountered that situation, which seems to me to be a little worrying.
But it's really surprised to me that accountant can give us some advice with the IT infrastructure.
Yeah, although my accounting colleagues upstairs, I won't. But yes, sometimes they're stepping outside, I suppose, their field of expertise. But sorry, Chloe, I'm jumping in, and I think you had something else you wanted to. No, that's fine. Paul.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay, Melissa.
I don't have any more current questions right now.
Okay, go for it, Isaac.
Eddie,
Yep.
I know you offer computer services, but would you ever expand into doing mobile phone services? So even for like a small business, understand they have work phones and all those things set up. Would you ever one day want to explore that route?
Eventually, maybe well, but I have to telling you that the mobile repair business is dying.
Right.
They look good, and people will need that for sure, but they can't earn enough margin from that. So in long term, we might be integrate that kind of service, but so far I won't consider that yet. Yeah, because first of all, we don't have people who doing this kind of thing. We can only cooperate with the other related business. And secondly, as I say, the mobile repair business is dying. And very good question from this. I will address that. I'm doing the computer business, even maybe sales and also the service, but I also get involved the accessory of the mobile as what JB Hi-Fi does, because that is all margin came from in general. Oh, shouldn't tell you that business is secret. But the mobile accessories will be the one that will get involved in my business for sure, which I'm doing now, not for the services.
When you say mobile accessories, Edward, what in particular?
Whatever you can name it, like cables, chargers, and also the car cradle. Mainly cable and chargers, which you can get enough margin from that, with no doubt, because people need it, and not for the case, not for the silicone case or protective case. Cases are too variety to control with, so we don't really carry the case in the stock.
Yeah, that's interesting. You say that. I have two Samsung mobiles. This one comes with that kind of case. Well, the other, this one's 12 or 15 months old. The other is newer than that. And it was interesting when I bought the newer one from JB Hi-Fi, they didn't even stock the case for it. Told me
there you go.
You find someone else, or to just go on the web and buy it direct from Samsung. And I think what that suggests is that there are so many models on the market that stocking things like cases becomes very, very difficult.
Exactly. The inventory cost for this kind of thing will be which will be really high than what you expected, because you need to prepare the models, not just models, but also the variety of the type case, the case type. And for your one, you're using the flip case. We need to prepare at least 1 or 2 kinds of the flip case for customer to suitable what they require. And for us, because we're small, we don't have enough money to do the inventory. I can't fit everything to customer. So what I can do is I try my best to give the minimum, the standard of the requirement from the customer, and I try my best to fit in at least 3 kinds of the product in same type.
Okay.
But not for cables, not for chargers. Cables and charger are very straightforward. You need a cable, you need to find a certain cable. Only the matter is the quality of the cable can last longer than next time you replace. So for the cable wise, unlikely to the one that you buy from the Paddy's Market or somewhere like $10 cable, those kind of not good quality cables won't last long. So you will definitely find out the cable from Office Work, JB Hi-Fi, even though they charge you $30, $35, you can buy it because the cable might be last longer than the $10 one. I think that's interesting from marketing side, because you do believe that the most expensive product will be last longer than the cheaper product, in your thought, in most of the time.
We teach students in consumer behavior the price quality equation and price and quality perceptions. Yes, you're right. It's I was driving a Mercedes, a rented Mercedes in the UK a couple of years ago, and it was quite new. I didn't rent a Mercedes, that's what they gave me. And when I came back to Australia, I checked out the price of the car that I had been driving, and it was well over $100,000 in Australia. And you have that perception, but honestly, I can't see where that $100,000 was merited. It just wasn't that good. But you see a Mercedes going past and you respect the brand, and yep, there's a price quality perception there that's really quite strong. So yep, you're right.
It is, especially for our industry. For the monitor manufacturer, there are 3 major monitor manufacturers in the world, but the only one you can name it is Samsung. But sometimes Samsung don't really manufacture their own product. They give the production to the other company who can do in their product. So the brand name power is such strong as what we can see now at the moment. And what I do, I try to break the product image, the brand name image to my customer. Says, hey, look, the product is good. They are not big name, but they are the same quality or even though better quality than others. So from past 5 years, I keep saying this to my customer who do believe me afterward. So maybe it can be the strength for us as well in this case.
Other questions? You've go on, Isaac. Sorry.
This is just for some context. You said something early on about the pandemic has affected other businesses, right? You said something.
Yes.
And when after doing some light investigating fairly recently, I went on is it the Capital Square market? Is that where you're located? Right?
Oh, yes.
Onto the website, like where your shop is located, there's a name of there was a previous shop called, I think it was Octagon Technology, something like that.
Oh, that was 4 years ago. Oh, more than 4 years, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Octagon, who was they are Filipinos and they came from overseas and they're good at the time. They have 5-6 shops. It's the same as the Scope Tech around the Sydney area, but I think they are just too stick with the big brand name power. So they are not really carefully to choosing their product. And after that, they quit the market.
Okay, thank you. I was like,
and by the way, Octagon is, I reckon Octagon initially, they are doing very good business and they are the top 3 largest in Philippines franchise business of the IT industry. But you may wonder why they are fail in Australia. I think the most major issue for them will be they are hardly to manage the product line. They got too messy of the product line, and they not really concentrate on certain brand. They are not have their own certain business model. They just like the same IT shop as the others. So that it makes them have no strength or no in swap. They might be they don't have enough strength to sustain their business forever. That's the issue.
They just wanted a bit of everything, and just like
we might talk about that next Friday, Isaac. There's some experiences that I had in my Telstra years that replicate that. Telstra had a variety of, well, too many products. It was just impossible for anyone working there to keep track of all the products and all the plans. And it's quite interesting that one of the strengths of the soon-to-be outgoing chief executive in terms of his achievements was reducing the product lines and the number of plans to a manageable number. And the reason that struck me is that it's many years since I worked there, and it seems that lesson has been learned all over again in an organization, that you'll go through this kind of purging process